Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Morning.
Morning. Anna made it. You woke up
Oh.
early. Well done.
Oh,
I know you hate this time of the morning. I feel so
perfect.
honored that you woke up this early just to train with me. Lovely dark morning to start training. Let
It's
me just
really
open up.
dark.
I say I'm opening up the curtains, even though I know it'll still be dark when we finish the class.
Yeah, it will. Gosh, pitch black.
Just think, in summertime, these classes will be done in the light.
Mm.
Maybe I can even take the laptop outside and start class outside in the summertime. That'd be nice.
Mm. Good thinking.
Idea of that.
Um, ah. Hi, Nick. I
Hello,
barely
Anna.
recognized you.
I've got my hood up
Hi.
because it's
So
cold.
hoods do
Good
work. The arrow is
morning.
correct. If you wear a hood, no one knows who you are.
Yeah,
Oh, how are you doing?
I'm
Did you
good.
make
I'm
this
very well.
did you make this tattoo you were talking
Yeah,
about? Oh, well
I'm
done.
it. Yeah. I'm an early bird. I can do the early mornings.
Oh
So
gosh.
I'll be up now anyway. So
Seriously. Tough,
yeah,
tough, tough, tough. For me, 7 is like, yeah, it's time to wake up. 6 is like ungodly hour, seriously.
5:45 alarm every day.
Why?
I have to get up and do Tai Chi before I go to work.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hey, Adam, how
Oh,
are you?
Good, thanks, Eli. How's yourself?
Yeah, very good. Adam's joining us
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Australia.
Oh,
woo.
It's actually 4 o'clock in the afternoon here, so I don't have to get up
Ah,
that early.
yeah, that's right. Oh, well, you can join us for the evening classes and get up early at your time.
Yeah, that'll be 6 in the morning, I think, some of them.
Okay.
That'll be all right.
Yeah. 6 in the morning? Yeah, 8 o'clock. Yeah, 6 in the morning for the evening classes. That's right.
Mm,
Oh, well, there we go. So we can all
yeah.
point and laugh at Adam when he looks tired in the morning for the evening classes.
well, it's the middle of the summer in Australia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice and hot.
Wow.
Snow here today.
Ah, you have snow in London.
Apparently so, and at 8 o'clock, apparently there's going to be a fluttering of snow.
Oh.
Ooh, that'll be exciting. A little
Well,
flutter. Nothing
a
like a
little
little
flutter.
flutter to start the week.
Everything will grind to a halt. It won't be that exciting.
All right, let's do some training. Get ourselves ready for the day. All right, all set to go. Okay. Ooh, it's a little bit chilly in here today. Let's start moving. Okay, let's start off with the same one. We always do this one to start off, just to get the whole spine moving and warmed up. So let's pull the shoulders back, push the chest forward, stick your bum out, bend your knees, look up, breathe in. And then do the complete opposite of that as you breathe out. Tuck your pelvis under, push your head down, fold your hands around in front of your head, and round your back as much as you can, breathing out. Open it up again, breathing in. Notice I'm pushing the palms back, not just the elbows. The palms are going back as well. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lean your body forward. Just slowly, slowly relax your body down till your palms touch the ground. And then from this position, just straighten up your spine. Okay? So you're staying down, but just straightening your spine. Then relax your spine. Then straighten your spine. Relax your spine. And straighten your spine. So you're stretching and then activating all those muscles down through your spine. And then roll your body up, engaging your glutes. Breathing in. And relaxing at the top. Open, close. Open it up. Close it up. Open it up. Close it up. Open it up. Close it up. Same thing again. Breathing out, relaxing your spine down. This time when you straighten your spine, pull your palms out to the sides as well, like so. Then drop them down as you relax. Remember, this whole movement can be done slightly higher if you wish. Here, like this. I can still relax the spine, you see? Relax down and straighten it up as I open the hands. I'm just at a 45-degree angle instead of a 90-degree angle. So it puts much less pressure on my body if I'm not at that fitness level yet. And then, again, roll up. So as I say, all of these ones you can do at 45 or 90, depending on your own strength levels. Open, close. One more time. Down. Stretch onto the floor. Straighten the spine, but lift the hands straight up in front this time. Okay? And then relax. Straighten, lift your arms up. Relax. Straighten, lift your arms up. Relax. Roll it up. Okay, in breath, link your fingers. Out breath, push your palms away from you, stretch into your back. So push into your spine, push your head down, tuck your pelvis under, everything's rounding forward. Breathe in, straighten your spine with a small lean forward, just 45 degrees or so this time, maybe even less, and lift your palms up in front of you. Pushing you like you're trying to push your thumbs up to the ceiling, okay? Breathe out. Then keep your palms there and stand up as you breathe in, straightening everything up, and then breathe out and make like you're sliding your thumbs and your elbows down the wall behind you, okay? And then relax at the bottom. One more, breathe in, stretch back. Breathe in, lean forward with a straight spine, lift your arms up. Breathe out, holding the posture. Breathe in, standing up. Breathe out, hands sliding down the wall behind you. and relax. Okay, take a very, very small lunge, just a normal little lunge like that, much the same as like a bow stance that you would take in your Taiji form, this kind of length of stance. Lift up your rear toe, turn it to the front, and just squat down. So you're stretching through this rear leg, sinking through this front leg, and notice I'm just wriggling, I'm just moving my body around, front and back, side to side, hips opening and closing, rear foot pushing and receiving. So I'm flexing the toe, pushing the heel down to stretch the calf. I'm just moving, no exact set pattern at all. Just move your body around. So all these muscles that are under pressure right now, rear hip flexors are being used, stretched, rear quads are being used, the glutes, the front leg, everything's just getting warmed up. We want the lots of blood in the muscles before we start doing anything extreme with them, you see? Okay, switch sides, exactly the same thing. Just move, twist, point and flex that rear foot. Bob up and down, open and close your hips. Just wriggle around, warming up those muscles in your body. Come back up. Okay, let's get a little bit more on the glutes and the hamstrings. Remember, only go down to how far is what's comfortable for you. Take your left elbow to your right knee, or right elbow to left knee if you want to do it like a mirror. So just take one elbow to your opposite knee. Bring your weight down into that leg that you're going down towards. So you lean down to that leg, you're putting your weight, not fully, maybe about 90% down to that leg. Just go down as far as what's comfortable. You don't have to touch the elbow on the knee. You might just go down to this level. That might be enough for you. If you can touch the elbow on the knee, great. You should be engaging your glutes, particularly that glute of the standing leg, my right glute now. I'm really feeling that's the concentrated point of force is on that glute. If your glutes are not engaging, you need to poke them. Give them a bit of a slap. Sometimes we have lazy glutes and we put all the pressure into our hamstrings and lower back instead of the glute. And when you ask other muscles to do the job they're not supposed to do, you get problems in your body. So really make sure that the glutes are engaging here. Notice the other hand is just extending out to the rear, squeezing that rear shoulder blade towards the spine. Breathing in each time I stand up, and breathing out as I sit down. Remember, this is a warm-up. So if this is like, oh my God, this is so hard, well, then you're doing it too hard for yourself. Don't tilt down so far. Remember, that's the one better thing about an online class than a real class. Nobody else can see you. Everyone's got me on their big screen. They're all looking at me. No one's looking at what you're doing. Even I can't see your movement at the moment because I haven't got my big screen set up yet. I will be getting a big screen set up soon, so then I will be able to see you. But I would much rather see people do it small, just do this, but do it correctly and do it with the correct principles behind it, rather than seeing you lean forward but rounding your back or buckling your knees or doing any other manner of incorrect posturing. Okay, we're now going to take a posture from the Taiji form, one posture from the Taiji form, and use it as a warm-up. This means that we take the posture and we grossly exaggerate the principles in that posture. It does not mean this is how you would do that posture in your Taiji form. Okay, so put one foot forward. Okay, you're in a normal bow stance, maybe just a slightly larger than normal bow stance, slightly longer. We're going to start in the posture of lower squeeze, like so. Brush your palms. This is called spear fingers. So you brush and open your palms out. You should be all familiar with this movement. Breathing in, opening, pulling your shoulders back. So you're feeling the shoulder blades squeeze together. Notice the hands are like scooping around behind me and then poking forward as I sit my weight back into my rear leg. The important thing here is that you're moving backwards as you're poking forwards. As I say, you should all be familiar with this, but there are some new people joining us nowadays, so I'll just give a few little tips as we go along. So as I open the hands, I'm opening the center to the side, to my open side, slightly sitting back, scooping the hands in, breathing in, and then pushing them forward as I straighten my front leg to sit back. Breathing out. So same thing, that's how it's done in the form, just nice and just like that. But we're going to grossly exaggerate it. So open those hands out bigger, reach them out, pull them back like you're yawning in the morning, and release them to the front. Okay? So you're not doing Taiji principles here. You're completely breaking your center. Your arms are totally detaching from the center and really stretch, stretch, stretch back, pushing your chest forward, opening everything out, breathing in, pulling back, 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 and release. It's a fantastic shoulder, chest, and spine warm up. Big in breath and big out breath. Reset, big in breath. Scoop it back and make sure when you're doing this scooping action, your shoulders are pulling back. You see, the shoulders are pulling back this way, like so. Chest is coming forward, shoulders going back, arms going back, but never let your shoulders go up. Okay, do not let your shoulders go up towards your ears. Keep them down when you do the movement. A couple more on that side. Open it up, pull it back. One more. Really going to the maximum range of all your joints there. Okay, to get them loosened up. Switching sides now. Other foot forward, other hand on the top. So the hand which is at the front, yin, like so, is the same as the foot forward. Okay, like that. Brush the palms, open them out, breathing in, stretching back, compressing and squeezing and opening up those joints, and then relaxing into posture. Again. Breathing in. Again. Okay, so that's something we'll be doing throughout these classes, throughout the month, is taking random postures from the Taiji form, even from the second and third thirds, even if you haven't learned those before, just simplifying them and using them as a warm-up, because it's a great way to warm up for starters, but it's also a great way to give you a little bit of knowledge about that posture before you learn it officially in the form with all the little intricate details of that form posture. So the way we've done that there is just really, you know, brute strength, warming up, moving your shoulders kind of thing, as opposed to all the subtleties of where to move from the center and where the weight is shifting, exactly how the hands are moving, the softness, the connection of the breath, all the internal aspects of that posture we haven't been focusing on there, just a pure warm-up. So once you learn it in the form, that's, you know, you'll learn those things, of course. Okay, so let's carry down into the floor. Right, we're going to start here like so. You're going to take a step forward into sort of a lunging position, but a bit longer this time. So a little bit longer. Again, listen to your own body. Don't strain yourself. Turn your front foot out about 45 degrees. So it's aiming out towards the corner out here. And then just bring your body down. If you're not so fit, you might want to put your hands on your knee here just to let yourself go down like so. Rest on the floor. Get your hands down onto the floor. Or your fists. Your fists keep you a little bit more upright, so you're not quite so low. Okay? If you put your palms on the ground, it means you're going to be a little bit lower in the posture. Point your rear toe. You can put your knee on the floor if you wish, of the rear leg, or lift the knee up, which puts a bit more stretch into that rear hip. And we're just going to wriggle around, lengthening through that back leg and sinking through this front leg, okay? Again, just, you know, you might look a bit more like this. Your hips might be up in the air like this. That's fine. No problem with that at all. You're still stretching. You're still sinking and moving those joints to your level, okay? So just wriggle around, move your body a little bit. Okay. Nice and easy. Again, as I say, I can put my rear knee on the ground. That takes less pressure. Or lift that knee up and it puts a bit more pressure on my body. Okay, see if you can try this one. Put your hand here and turn your body towards this front leg. So I'm turning towards this front knee here. It means I'm going to be increasing the stretch through this glute in the front, in this legged glute. And I'm going to be stretching across the left side of my hip, like the outside of my hip, of this bottom hip, because I'm sinking down into it, you see? Like so. Relaxing into that one. Bring it back to the front, like that. Now, one more little movement to finish off, only if you can, only if you feel your body is able to do it. Lower your body down to put your elbows on the floor whilst keeping this foot flat on the floor. So you're really getting your body stretching and opening that standing hip, that front hip. And again, see, I'm just wriggling around, moving. My whole body is still in a constant state of movement. I'm not just sitting in a passive stretch. Nothing wrong with passive stretching, of course, but that should be done more at the end of your session, not at the beginning of your session. Okay, we're going to flip that around to the other side. I'm just going to turn it sideways for you so you can see what's happening. You're going to turn that around. See, I've just rotated that, so I'm standing on the ball of that foot, if you can see underneath my baggy pants. Standing on the ball of that foot and just sinking and stretching down through this hamstring. Now, again, we're going to move this movement. I'm going to straighten the leg and sink into it. I'm going to bend the leg and sink into it. Just wriggle and move your body around that leg whilst supporting it with your palms here, you see? Now, again, you might not look like this. You might look like you're a bit more up in the air, something like this kind of thing. And as I always say, if you can't even get close to this posture, well, just sit that one out, you know, or you could just sit on the floor, you know, just sit on the floor and get a bit of a stretch on that hamstring while you're there. So maybe try to, you know, mimic something similar, get some kind of a stretch. But yeah, if you're too far off a certain posture, don't even attempt it until you get closer to it. Okay, crawl your way across to the other leg now and stretch. Point that rear toe and just relax and reach into this front leg, stretching through the back leg, across the hip, front of the hip, side of the hip, and sinking down through this front leg. This is such a nice movement to get your body ready for the day. And remember, all the warm-ups that we do are integral to getting your body prepared for postures that you will be doing in your Taiji form. Okay, turn your body towards that front leg, twist into it, stretching through the side of the hip through here. You get a bit of a stretch here in the glutes because you're turning into it. And like before, if you're able, drop your elbows to the floor and sink down onto that one. Come into a lunge position like so that your knee is straight down towards the floor. Both lower legs essentially are straight down like so. And just tuck your pelvis under, okay? Hips to the front so you feel this stretch coming down through here. Really feeling it in the top of the hip flexor in particular. We always get very tight through here, through too much sitting. It's important to move and lengthen this area of the body back. Remember, in the morning, first thing in the morning, we're not stretching for the sake of like increasing our flexibility. We're just waking up the muscles, just saying, hello, good morning. Stretching to increase your flexibility, you really want to do at the end of your session, not so much at the beginning of your session. This is a warm-up. Okay, lengthen that. Just rest down onto your knee like so, just so you're in a slightly longer position. And only if you can, just grab that rear foot. So you bring that stretch down towards your knee instead of up in towards the hip. And obviously how far you bend that in, you get more or less stretch. Again, just waking it up. Notice I'm still moving, still wriggling and moving my body. Switch that around to the other side. Same thing. Stretching and lengthening through here. Remember, you have to tuck your pelvis under. If you don't tuck your pelvis under, you won't get any stretch here. You won't get any activation whatsoever. So just move it around. This will really help. This movement here particularly really helps loosen off all the muscles for your bow stances. So if you're one of these people who in your bow stance, you still have a bit of a arch in your lower back, then this movement here particularly will help with that. We want to relax and loosen off this area so that the lower back sinks down naturally. Okay, again, sinking forward into that front one. So it's a little bit more stretched forward. And then if you can, grab that rear foot, stretching the leg a little bit more and pulling it in. Only again to what's, you might not even be able to grab the leg. You might already be getting enough stretch. But if you want, if you're more flexible, everyone's at a different level. Everyone's at a different stage of their mobility, their strength, and so on. So you've got to do what's right for your body, but don't use that as an excuse to be lazy either. Oh, my body just likes doing it this way. No, you still got to push your body, okay? Don't be lazy about it. Oh, and just for those people watching this afterwards on YouTube, check in the description down below if you want to get the live links to actually follow along with these classes. That way you can actually ask questions and be part of the class if you want to do that. So all the details are down below this video in the comment, not the comments, the what is it called? The description. Okay, we're going to go into some. What are we going to do today? Let's do a bit more small sensor. Get ourselves ready for the day. Yesterday we did a bit more form stuff, as in slow form stuff. Today, let's vary it. Let's do a little bit of small sensor. Maybe we'll do a little bit of form at the end or something. I don't know. We'll see how much time we've got. Okay, so first of all, let's just do the small sensor a few times through just to warm into it. I assume everyone's already practicing this particular form. If you're not, then join us for this evening's class at 8 p.m. UK time, because that's where I'll be teaching this form from scratch for, aimed at beginners, but still beneficial for everyone else, because I will talk about other tips as well throughout the class, but it will be learning the form from the beginning. Okay, let's try this form. Let's see. I want you to do it the normal side first. I'll be your mirror, so let's all go that way. Nice and easy. Other side. Those of you following these videos, throughout this month particularly, since this is the sort of promotional month to begin the year, I apologize if I repeat myself a couple of times throughout with certain principles, certain comments, because I will be putting these on YouTube to try to bring in more interest for the classes. So of course, some people may be just watching this as their first class. They may not have watched previous classes. So something I just wanted to say about the small sensao is remember the 5th of November. No, remember that the small sensao is a training tool. It is an exercise. It's a form. It is by no means seen as a fighting principle. It's not a fighting method. You are not going to stand here and swivel on your heels and fight someone like this and step forward and swivel back. You are not going to use that footwork or that body positioning. You're not going to fight anyone with those movements. It is a training tool to learn and understand certain principles. As I say, these sort of things I'll talk about in the official class of this form later this evening. But for now, just keep that in mind. So don't go around. The problem with the small sensao is because it kind of, okay, you are still doing it as a partner exercise. I'm blocking something and I'm striking. People often think that the small sensao is how Taiji is used for fighting because it sort of resembles fighting. It does look a little bit like fighting, at least to the untrained practitioner. And so what happens is you get these Taiji guys, beginners to Taiji. They're learning some small sensao. And someone else asks them, maybe a friend who's doing boxing or some other style of martial art, oh, how would you stop a punch like this in your Tai Chi form? It's, oh, well, yeah, we'd stand like this and we'd swivel like this and then we'd grab this and step forward. And, they're teaching you a form. It'd be like a boxer saying, how would you punch someone in the face? Oh, I'd go like this and on his nose because he hasn't understood yet. This is just a training exercise. But see, that's so obviously a training exercise on the speedball, just to learn timing. So no one ever confuses that. But small sensao, often people think that the how we do it in the form is how you would use it in a fight. That is not the case. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of tips. The first tip that I want to give you is just we're going to go through the whole form again, but making sure that you're getting the correct sizes and correct footwork happening. Again, this class is aimed at you. I'm assuming you know the form. I'm not teaching you from scratch just yet. That's this evening's class. So the most important thing in the beginning, at least, is to make sure that the small sensao is done very large. As you'll notice when I just did it then, all the movements are big. Look. Wow, very over-exaggerated techniques. Fighting doesn't look like that. Fighting is in close. Fighting is here. Yeah? Fighting is not big sweeping. That's wushui kung fu film type of fighting. That's not how real fighting happens. Whether you're talking about street fighting or competition fighting, whether it doesn't matter whether it's in the ring or on the street. Fighting doesn't happen with big sweeping, swirling movements. Maybe the occasional one that, fits in, but most of it is all keeping it close and, this kind of thing. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go through when we make things larger, it's easier for us to understand the connection to the center and where the circles are. Taiji is all about circles rather than just kind of straight lines, okay? It's all about circles and flow. That doesn't mean that when we throw a punch, we have to sort of wave our arms about. When I throw a punch from here, I'm still boom, boom, I'm still throwing good, solid, connected, straight attacks. But even those straight punches, there's a straight punch, boom, boom, and there's a follow-up straight punch, but there's still circularity within those linear lines. It's very, very small circles, so you don't notice it so much, but it is still there. So the small sensao makes sure that our bodies are moving in a circularly connected way, particularly the first few movements. So we do those circles larger. The footwork, we're going to do the footwork again with this swiveling thing. You don't swivel like this in a real fight. It takes too much time. It's too slow. But it is a fantastic way to connect your center into your limbs. Everything. Look at the body. When I swivel that back, everything's moving as a unit. By simply doing that little step, that little foot movement there, everything is moving as a unit. So when I do whichever hand posture I may be doing along with that movement, everything is connected. So the footwork kind of forces all of your extremities to connect together. So let's go through that again. I'm going to face the same direction as you now. We're going to go through and just think about that. Make sure everything's big, everything's circular, and make sure you're doing the footwork. It's the biggest mistake I see people doing in small sensao. They focus too much on the hand techniques because that's what looks cool, and they negate the footwork. If you're not doing the footwork of small sensao, you're not doing small sensao. Okay, let's have a go. So, nice and large. That's a really good example there. Look how big this movement is. Wow. Boom. Oh. Let's do it again the other way. Remember, when you drop the hands, you're not lowering your hands. You're not going like this. The purpose of that, again, obviously has nothing to do with fighting. It's just purely, it's to train that heaviness, train that relaxation in the arms. So even when your hands are up and you're in a fighting sort of situation, you still got that weight behind your arms. When you hit someone with an arm which is loose, it delivers so much more force than an arm which is tense like this. Because when you tense up too much, you only get this concentration of pressure from the extremity through here. Look at any good martial art. It doesn't have to be Taiji, and it's not only Taiji that does this, of course. Look at a good boxer. When they throw their punch, the body is loose when they throw it, but not too loose to sort of, telegraph the punch too much and damage your own body. If you're too loose, it doesn't work. If you're too tight, it doesn't work. Were we just halfway through the form then? I can't remember. Let's just start again, shall we? Take that block there and take it across your body. Send the energy around your body, not up across your body like this. Send it around your body. Step forward, boom. Nice solid back fist. Again, send it around. The force is going that way. The hinge of that arm, this arm here, like so, is your primary aspect there. Step forward, boom, and drop that power down into that back fist. Okay, let's just have a look at the very first move and think about connecting everything all together everywhere all at once. In here like so. Think about this here, your lower dantian. Turn it. When it turns, your feet turn with it. So your toes swivel. You're pivoting on the heels. Okay, you're not pivoting on the balls of the feet, like so. In this case, you are pivoting on the heels. Sometimes we pivot on the heels, sometimes we pivot on the ball of the foot, depending on where you are, where you're positioned, where the other guy is, what your outcome is, what you're trying to achieve, and so on. A lot of people have this idea that one is right and one is wrong. It's only right or wrong in the wrong circumstance. Okay, both are very effective in the right circumstance. Okay. But as I say, a really big full 90-degree swivel like this, probably unlikely in any kind of real fighting context. This is an exaggeration. Probably in reality, it's going to be just a little pivot, you know, just a very small movement. We're exaggerating this movement to make sure that we're understanding this feeling of connection throughout the whole center. Okay? So the whole body's moving together. You should feel this whole region, all these muscles that attach your body in together into that central point, kind of squeeze up and turn your body to the other side. Okay? Your toes are only off the ground for just a split second. It's not like you're balancing on the backs of your heels, trying to go like this and swivel to the other side. They're just da-da. See? Whoop. Like so. Whoop. So at no point are you unbalanced. I don't feel, if you feel this, I'll stand sideways for you. If you feel this, you know, like you're kind of going backwards to lift the toes and then coming forwards, there should be no weight shift forward and backwards. It's like I'm here on my heels. When I lift the toes, it's just boom. And I swivel as I do that. So I don't feel in any way like there's a destabilization happening because it's quick. My center is staying where it is. My grounding, my center of gravity is staying where it is. Like so. Now throw your arms into the equation. You see? One arm is obviously pulling back and sweeping back through your body. So the direction is pulling backwards, you see? It's not pushing out here. It's pulling backwards. The other hand is pumping forwards. Make sure you're getting that. Notice how both hands are reaching their target basically at the same time. Technically speaking, the blocking hand gets there a nanosecond before the striking hand. But if you're a beginner, just think about putting the hands together. It's easier. Better to be exactly at the same time, although it's not perfect, but better to be exactly together on that strike than to do something like this. Okay, block strike, that is completely incorrect. A, you're giving him a better chance of blocking your strike because you're going 1-2 instead of 1. You're also taking all the power out of your strike because it means you've already turned and then you're extending the arm. The turn of your center is powering this movement like so, but at the same time it's powering this movement by pumping that shoulder forward and pulling this shoulder backwards. It's a very economical kind of movement. You'll see this sensation of this squeezing sensation that you get through your body here and through your legs of everything moving together. Feel that sensation connect through that striking arm particularly. So it's pushed forward, which is no different than how you'd throw a right cross. Boom. Through like that, you see? Whack. Like so. Boom. You're feeling that connection come up through the ground, come up through your center, and boom, connecting it into your palm. Just doing it in a slightly different manner in this case. Okay, so that gives you a general idea of how you should be doing your small sense out. And you want to make sure you're always doing it with that feel. Don't try and take the movements of the small sense out and turn it into some kind of sparring session. It's not that. You want to do sparring, put your gloves on, get with your partner, say, right, now we're going to test out our skills. You're going to actually fight now. You're not going to sit there swiveling in front of each other. It's a training exercise. Okay, we're going to finish off today with a little bit of Qigong. We're going to do one short moving Qigong, followed by a short standing Qigong. Okay, nothing too extreme. Just stand with your feet shoulder width, parallel. The moving part of it, your knees are just softened. You're not sinking down low yet, just slightly softened knees. Very, very simple. If you've been practicing Taiji for a while, all of these movements will come very naturally to you. Palms yang to start. Calm your body down. You're simply going to breathe in as you lift your palms out in front of you. Your palms are going slightly yin as you're breathing in. There's a floating aspect at the top of the movement while you're inhaling that last part of the air and then sinking down, breathing out. Sinking your body back to the start. Again, breathing in, but this time your palms come out to the sides. In breath. And out breath as they squeeze together. Notice there's that little slow down section here when you sink into the final part of the movement. Then we breathe in again and open the hands. Again, at the top of every breath, that little fluttering moment. And breathe out. Scooping your hands up in front of you, breathing in. A little backwards circle towards your face, like your palms are running down your face. And then breathe out through your mouth this time as you push your palms away from you. Relax statically, breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Relax your hands. Breathe out as they drift out to the sides. Breathe in as you lift them up overhead. And breathe out as you slowly push them down. We'll do that whole sequence one more time now that you've got a little bit of, you're a little bit used to it. As you breathe in, your hands begin to go yin. Your weight rocks into the balls of the feet. And as you breathe out, you sink back towards the heels. Every time you breathe in, rocking the weight forward to the balls of the feet and sinking back. Breathing in again as you lift your palms up. Little backward circle. And push your palms out in front of you. Breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in, stay still. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax the palms out to the sides as you breathe out. And again, as you breathe in, your weight comes into the balls of your feet, lifting your hands up. And breathing out. We're going to go into our Qigong stance now, 3-circle standing Qigong. So sink your knees down. Please note for anyone following these classes, again, if you're following these from YouTube, for example, these particular classes are aimed at people already training this stuff. This is a training session, not an official class. So you may still be getting some benefit from it, but if you feel a little bit lost in certain aspects and think, why is he not giving more detail on certain postures? Well, it's because they're aimed at my own students who are already practicing these things. So sinking your weight down. Get your weight down as low as you can without feeling excessive tension in the ankles or the knees. This won't be a long Qigong. We haven't got much time before the end of class. Just to center our bodies in to close everything up. Lift the palms up. So usually we do this for a minimum of 15 minutes. But we're just going to do 5 minutes today, just to close off the class. Toes scrunching under, pelvis relaxing underneath, loosening, letting go of your lower back. Your lumbar spine is just hanging down, relaxing, relaxing. Shoulders melting down off your neck, but at the same time, maintaining good, solid structure, good posture. Make sure that your head, the back of your head, lines up with your spine. Your spine is nice and vertical, in line, straight. Palms around upper chest height. Don't let them sag down, being lazy. Lower your palms down. Really think about that spine, just sinking, relaxing. When your body gets tight, your energy goes up, your tension rises up through your body. So we want to think down, sink, sink, sink. Even the legs, even though there's so much pressure on the legs because of the bend in the knees, still just think relax down, think sink. And then slowly take your hands out to the sides, breathing in. And relax, standing up. Cross your wrists and close off as usual. All right, nicely done, guys. Any questions about anything in there?
I'll have a go at a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So when you're doing the small sand-sail foot change,
Yeah.
from a beginner's point of view in terms of teaching it, and then also when you've been doing it a bit longer, are you doing weight shift and turn together, or is there any sense of changing the weight first and then turning? Like, is there a slight lag, or do those things turn the center, change the weight happen at exactly the same time?
The weight always starts.
So you start shifting to one side and then turn.
Yes, definitely. I'd have to go off the top of my head. I have to go through each posture, but the first
No,
posture,
just on these ones.
yeah, on any of these ones where we're doing this kind of thing, this first
Yeah.
movement, yeah. If you watch my movement, like watch where my center of gravity is, it's
Okay.
see, there's a little it's not much. Like by no means is it shift your weight then turn. It's not separated like that, of course. But there's, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20% of your weight shift sort of goes across a little bit. And then the twist happens. I liken it to, okay, coming back to a more practical fighting aspect now, rather than the training method of the small sensao. Okay, I'm standing here. Someone's throwing a swing punch at me to the left side of my head. Maybe he's got a knife in his hand. That's why sometimes we use these larger movements. A lot of people in competitive martial arts, they don't understand the concept of larger hand movements because they're always using tight, small blocks. You can't do that against someone with a knife in his hand, okay? Not that you've got that much chance against someone with a knife in his hand anyway, but at least it's a better chance than nothing. So that's why we'll strike that hand out if he's slashing with a knife, something like that. Anyway, so he's coming at me with that knife. My body's not going to go and turn directly into it because I want to get out of the way. You see? So it's like, and then the attack comes through. So there's the attack. There's well, this is also an attack, of course, attacking his wrist. Hopefully he drops that knife. But yeah, it's like, I'm actually moving, and then twisting a little bit later. So in the small sensei, yeah, there's that just a little fraction before the turn happens. Because that movement, remember, is a representation of, it's not the same movement, but it's the same root movement. So the small sensei is based upon the postures from your Taiji form, your slow form, but they're not done in exactly the same way. You can take any posture from the form and say, okay, we're going to practice brush knee twist step today. Now we're going to do all the applications from brush knee twist step, as in applications that come from the root principle of brush knee twist step. It does not mean that every application will look exactly like that posture. So we have this movement in your Taiji form. Boom. Now, obviously, this hand is completely different. It's not striking out, it's coming around. So that's a totally different application. But the left hand part of it, the movement of the left hand, look, a little bit of weight shifts over here. So I'm turning this way. Now, the difference is from that position in the small sensei, we would stay on that side. Whereas in the Yang Lu Chan or Yang Qing Fu's form, we come across and then we actually turn back that way. So again, it's a different aspect of the movement, but it's still got that idea that the body's moving a bit this way, you see? So when I do my small sensei, I'm still, that little starting aspect of what you do in the form before you throw it out, like so. Now, some people would see that as a load, a preparation. We're always saying like, okay, if I'm ready to punch him, I don't want to go load my hand back and punch him in the face. This is not a load because it's part of your defense. As I say, I'm standing here like so. He's swinging that punch in. I'm going, whoa, you know, I'm evading. I'm getting out of the way. Whoa, if I exaggerate the principle, I'm getting out of the way. Oh my gosh, whoa, and then punching him. So that's not loading. It's evading. That's not classed as loading. Whereas if I were to stand here and go 1, 2, by all means, that would be an incorrect thing to do. So yeah, the whole posture is a little bit, just that much. And then twist. It also creates that circle, you see? That correct circle in the arm. If I just turn, what tends to happen is this. People just lift the hand straight up to the side, getting no backward force, no backward dragging force. So the hand should start lifting here on your center line. It's coming onto your center line on that first little movement, you see? And then you're getting that nice pulling back aspect of the movement. There. So you see the whole body just gets ready. And another thing to note with that type of posture, you can see that the movement is quite large. Now, as I did say earlier, that the movements are exaggerated, but in this case, it's not actually exaggerated as such. This is how I would do this posture as far as the size of it, because I'm assuming the type of attack where it's coming from back here. His arm's coming at me, something like that, like a very untrained kind of attack, right? Like a slashing sort of an attack. So in which case you've got time. Oh shit, here he comes. You go, oh, bang, you see? But maybe you're in a position where you can't run away. You can't evade completely. There's all sorts of different sections. Maybe you're surrounded by other people or whatever. So you've got to sort of more or less hold your ground and block that knife and strike him across the neck. So yeah, that's the long answer of shift your weight first and then the waist follows. But it's all what I'm trying to say is it's all interconnected. Don't make sure when you're teaching your beginner students, you wouldn't do it, but your beginner students, sometimes if you say shift your weight, then turn your waist, they can start going 1, 2, 1, 2. And you don't want them getting into that habit that it's 2 different movements. It's, whoa. You see, it's the weight shift is kind of just coiling your body. It's more like a circular movement. So instead of thinking shift, turn, it's more like the center does circle. You see, if you teach them it as a circle, then their body is already moving. So as that weight is moving to that side, just starting to move over, the center is actually doing a circle, in which case it's already moving. But if you tell them right and left, then it might become 2 movements. But if it's a circular movement, therefore it will connect all in and everything will link up a little bit better. Less chance of them getting into bad robotic habits. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Eli.
No worries. All right, guys. I'm gonna go get on with the rest of my day. Got lots of work to do. So class tonight, 8 p.m. UK time. That's the next class, and that will be our Learning from Scratch Small Sensor class. So hope to see some of you there, especially Adam. He's going to get up early and join us with his coffee, coffee and his thongs, and we'll get some small sensor on. Thank you all for joining. See you soon.
Thanks a lot, Eli.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.